Okay, so now I have to show this piece because it's a 3-3. Okay, this is Knowles 3-3 with a Tampa look that's really morphed into a Tampa 5. It morphs into a Tampa 5. And I can show you where it could have been a Tampa 7, but it was a Tampa 5. But it's a 3-3 look and sort of a spy on Gabriel's legs and on any short crossers. But again, this is not what we were doing the first game. Great game plan. And is this going to be the same? I said it before. We aren't going to see the same thing. The game plan is going to be different versus Oregon than Tennessee, and it was. Okay. It's going to be different versus Texas because these are three different offenses. We keep getting a little more pro. Will Stein's a little more pro from Heupel, and then Sarkisian's a little more pro from Will Stein. Sarkisian, it's all about his game plan. He's, people, a lot of Ohio State fans are like, oh, we don't like Sarkisian. He's no. I think a lot of these are young guys that don't go all the way back and understand what a mind Sarkisian has for offense. But yes, he can have some game plans that don't work. And let's hope he does that with Ohio State. But if he's got one that, this is going to be very interesting, this battle between Sarkisian and Knowles. But he is going to have to, Sarkisian's going to have to deal with, I don't think Knowles is going to be doing all this 5 and 6 DB flex stuff. But some of it's going to come to play. I would think it's going to be in play. And then there's going to be more, I think, shooting down into man and press a little bit, maybe some more blitzing a little bit. For this, that might work. But let's see what Knowles comes up, But he can't do what he did against Oregon and Tennessee exactly. But he'll tweak it. But I think just in case, I'm telling you, these are the 5 DB, 6 DB flex. This one's a 6 DB with a 3-3 into a Tampa 5. It's just great stuff. Let's go to the film. Okay, before we run the film, let me just speak something quickly to Will Stein because I keep mentioning how good this guy is. I don't really talk about his background. It's very interesting. He's got like the power spread triumvirate in his background, plus the pro spread style of Mr. Bobby Petrino. You see me circling. I do this with a million coaches. Have their wiki page, have their backgrounds in the bookmark. So with Will Stein, we see Cragthorpe, but then Petrino was a big one. He's a pro spreads type of guy. Not really, though, because he comes from the Meyer spread, which was really one style of the run and shoot. Okay, Meyer, Red Fought that nobody knows about. That's the pure run and shoot. And then Mouse Davis that everybody knows about. Okay, but a lot of people don't know about Meyer, and it led to the pro spread, really. And then don't worry about Watson. This guy, Gilbert, was under Briles, so he has some Briles. There's Tom Herman, our old offensive coordinator, and Tim Beck, the guy that was also coordinator. And then there's Jeff Traylor, who was under Chad Morris, okay? And actually, Jeff Traylor had he had Chad Morris roots, and back to Sterling Gilbert, who was Briles' guy. And then Barry Lunny, who had Jim Chaney, who was more like that Meyer real spread that Joe Tiller started doing, really a pass spread. And Lunny was under that, but then together they made like a pro spread out of it. Okay, whatever. So the bottom line is, when you see a guy like Chad Morris in the picture here, and Gilbert, who's Briles, I mean, you're talking, and Herman's got Urban Meyer, right, together. I mean, that's the triumvirate. Urban Meyer on the pro side of power spread. You got Gus Malzahn right in the middle. That's Chad Morris. And then you got Briles on the other side. It's real air raid, it's the space side of it. So you have all this with a also pro style with Petrino. So Will Stein's got this background. It's really cool. So now when we look at the film, look at this spread by Will Stein. This is why I just love, he mixes brilliantly the pro and the power and the spread stuff, power spread. And now they're going to motion out of this, okay? But what I love how they start here, that's very Art Briles-esque, and this is sort of air raid-ish here. This is definitely not pro style. Anyways, and then they motion into a pro style set. Now this looks more pro style. And I think these are both tight ends. So there you go. You had 1-2 personnel, and he motions back into this. Okay, back to Jim Knowles, what we were all talking about here. So now what is Jim Knowles going into here? This is a third down play. He's got 3 linemen. He's got 6 DBs, okay? One of the guys is Sonny Styles' brother. That's Sonny Styles, and this is brother Lorenzo Styles at the safety spot. And this is Ransom. There's Caleb Downs, our Tampa guy, in the middle. And Hancock is now the overhang nickel again, or dime back in this instance, okay? Or you could call Lorenzo Styles the dime back, whatever. So now you got 6 DBs flex. This could morph into anything. What it's going to morph into is, again, overhang linebacker in a nickel or whatever dime. And look, this is morphing really into, as you see these DBs fall back. There's Iggy at corner and Denzel. They're really moving back into a Tampa 5. There's the 3 Tampa guys. The Tampa player there. The 2 safeties. The cornerback going to deep corner. This guy's looking down deep. See? And the overhang guy. Now, if these 2 overhang guys, Sonny Styles and Hancock, turned and leverage out to block any crossers and sort of like seal the crossers. So then it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And because the running back comes out here, you got 3 over here. And I think that Downs would also be playing, that he would be having that bracket sort of thing. And this guy would be coming down. So Hancock would be coming down more. So it would make like a diamond effect. And this guy would be more up here. Downs would be down here. He would be down here. I'm sorry, it was really Downs who would be sealing off, which he's kind of leveraging now, but it's mainly because he's looking for the deep middle. And then this guy would be leveraging. The way Downs looks is the way Sonny would look. And then you'd have 1, 2, 3 over 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4 over 3. But that's not what this is, because you can see Sonny Styles is not leveraging in that direction, and really Hancock's not coming down in the flat area. So this is just a 5-man. This is a 5-man shell with these cornerbacks helping out the Tampa middle area. Okay? So, and then of course, see, Will Stein is trying to go deeper and trying to hit some shots, because we're coming up really hard on the down stuff, on the short stuff, and on the runs. So he's trying to do what he did to us the first game, but we're now in these Tampa and these 6 DB and 5 DB flex looks that we weren't doing that time. See? So, we were doing a little bit of it. We're doing more now. So when everybody was yelling for more blitzing, what we really did was clean up his coverages, is what he really did. And now we only have a 3-man rush. And Simon, the middle guy of the 3-3, sort of just acting like a spy almost. Now Hancock should have been down on this guy faster. In a cover 7, he would have been. That's what Saban was proud of, his cover 7. He said it covers every piece of the field. In its perfection, yes. This Tampa 5 look, any Tampa look is more, you're really making sure to not get burned in the intermediate or the deep. And that's what we did. So we got burned a little bit. A great check down by Gabriel. And you look at that. We're even getting strong rush on a 3-man rush. But a little check down. And because you really had to get up and make that tackle right away. Hancock was just a little late. So you got to give it, they go deep. And maybe at this point, Stein's even telling his guy Gabriel, look, they're really covering the deep and intermediate. Just get back there and then check down, look for check downs. And he was able to do that. But yeah, they're finally adjusting to the game plan. But anyways, back to the point, Steve Sarkisian's Steve Sarkisian's in his battle versus Jim Knowles is going to have to look at this. And he is, I guarantee you, he's looking at all this and wondering what. Now, the big thing is, I don't know that this is the game plan against Sarkisian in Texas, but I think some of this is definitely going to be in there. And I love the whole 3-3 idea. I always love the 3-3. Joe Lee Dunn, look it up. So there you go. You got a little information on Will Stein finally, that I keep yelling about Will Stein. And I think people don't really understand. This dude's got all the different pieces of Power Spread plus Pro in his background, and he morphs it really well. He did get out game plan this time. Knowles got his revenge, no doubt about it. It was Knowles who settled down. It was, I wouldn't say like less aggressive, but more sound in his coverages and more simple stuff that we were able to morph around with. A lot of flexibility with that. The 5 DB flex and the 6 DB flex and the Tampa looks, and all this. It's really incredible. And he morphed into a Tampa 5 in this one. I tried to show you what a 7 looks like, a 7 shell, but this was more of a 5-man shell. And Hancock, with 6 DBs, Hancock was a little late getting up on that little check down, but smart stuff. They're trying to make adjustments. But again, the game plans by Kelly and Knowles, and then their play calling off of it, and the confidence the players had in this stuff, and then their talent on top of it, all together, even with the adjustments, Oregon was making, it wasn't enough. And in the second, they had that crazy drive at the end of the first half and got a 2-point conversion out of it. A lot of that's Gabriel's guts. That team was so deflated. I don't really want to show that stuff. They were so deflated at this point when it got to like 21-0. And you could see it. And then we were starting to gash them, and they were starting to blow coverages and get gashed in the run game. And it's still, you start to lose the strategy, because now it's just players that are totally dejected. The offensive line was getting killed for Oregon. The defensive line was starting to come on, get killed. And Gabriel's a hell of a leader, and Lanning's got a great culture too. And they kept fighting, and Gabriel was able to come up with a huge third down play in that last drive before the end of the half, and then get that little touchdown was the last play of the half and a 2-point conversion. And then they got a touchdown to start the second half, but that was pretty much it. They got one more after that, one more score. That was it. We came back strong on offense. And a lot of that, by the way, was scrambles by Gabriel. And you can see, I could show some of that, but I'll just tell you it was air raid style. I mean, that style of looking, Stein puts a lot of that in there, lets his guys look for grass. They have like route designs. Some of them are solid West Coast offense route designs, but a lot of it's a design and then look for grass. And that really helps the scrambling. So when Gabriel's scrambling, these guys are already used to looking for grass and having the scramble drill. So there was a lot of scrambling and finding guys open from that. We let down just a little bit off of it, but it's to be expected. But in the end of the day, it was such a blowout, so it didn't matter.